In today's video, a special place. Wondering what are the things you could do if you're coming on holidays to Benidorm town? Well, this is one of them. Welcome to Guadalest village. Did you know that just 30 minutes from Benidorm town there's a hidden gem inside of the mountains with a medieval castle, jaw-dropping views, and the quirkiest little museums that you've ever seen? Today, we've taken you to Guadalest, officially one of the most beautiful villages in all entire Spain. Let's explore this magical spot all together. Located in the Alicante province in the Marina Baixa region, only 25 kilometers, which is around 15 miles from Benidorm town, about 30 minutes by car. There's also excursion buses that can bring you here if you do not have your own vehicle. Upon the entrance, you will be able to see this small area where many people throw down some coins and make wishes. It is already an authentic tradition. This village is set high in the mountains with spectacular views of the valley and the local reservoir. Guadalest, it's also a village that is famous for its tiny and fun museums. One of them you could have just seen right now. There's gigantic museum where you can see a flea dressed as a bullfighter under a microscope. There was a salt and pepper shaker museum with over 20,000 pieces, but it closed down sadly. There's an ethnological museum here nearby to see how people lived in the area centuries ago, and even medieval torture museum for those who like it dark and spooky. Obviously, there is also plenty of shops and local restaurants, bars and cafeterias, where after purchasing some souvenirs or just exploring the streets, you will be able to sit down and have some nice lunch. These are the souvenirs you will be able to purchase here on these tiny streets. By the way, this side of walk towards the castle is only with steps, but there is another one which is more or less wheelchair friendly. You would be able to get up towards the castle too. Look at that, there's a lovely doggy. A doggy-o right here in the house. I suppose it's a closed business or someone's house that's just sleeping out there. Many handmade souvenirs can be made here. There's painting, there's lemons, 1 kilo, €1. There's also some ceramics products, there's some scarves, some art for outside or inside of the house, on the terraces, but mostly, honestly, locals and national tourists purchase it because, well, you won't be able to bring that on plane, would you? There's some clothing here that can be purchased anywhere. Honestly, this is not something typical, but all the things made of ceramics, made out of metal, paintings, hand-drawn ones, ceramic plates, also magnets or any other art pieces. This could be something special to commemorate your visit to Guadalest village. Obviously, apart from museums, breathtaking views of the Mediterranean Sea and all the valley and the bottom part of Guadalest that we will see also. We will go down this road whenever we'll be walking back. And apart from all this, you obviously have the castle of San Jose, which is also the castle of Guadalest. This is a medieval fortress built in the 11th century by the Moors. And it can be reached by walking through a tunnel that was carved in the rock. Back then, Moors had to protect their fortune, and this was one of the most difficult places to access. Some more museums here nearby that are closed down, but it's curious the pieces of art that they have inside. And right now we're walking directly towards the entrance to the castle. From here, from the sky, you can see how Guadalest village actually looks like. The old part of the village, which is the castle part right here in front of us. By the way, it can be accessed through the museum of the family house. And from there, After passing through the house, you will be able to get up to the highest point of this village, which is the castle. But it is not necessary and not obligatory to do so if you don't want to. It's also very, very high up, so be careful. But if you want to go inside of the house, see how they've lived, there are some art pieces inside and much, much more. This might be a great way of exploring this region's culture. Upon the entrance towards the carved tunnel, there are some pictures. Now it costs already €5. Before pandemics, I think it costed less. Now it's €5. They do a professional picture here for your family and they give you the picture back in a shape of a magnet, I think, or some things like some accessory for the keys. And you'll get a family photo. If not, you can make a picture yourselves here. There are plenty of spaces where you will be able to do it. There's amazing panoramic views from here. Let's go up towards the castle. And meanwhile, for you to know that all this area obviously has way much more than museums. There are typical old streets where you can wander about. There is this natural air conditioning, we call it, because there is the strongest wind here inside of this carved tunnel. And even in summer, it's quite chilly out here. Look at this, how it was carved. No wonder for such a long time they were so safe in this area. And this is the famous house of the richest family of the region. From here, you are able to get inside of the castle. Tickets do not cost much. It's around €4 or €5 per person. And you can just go by yourselves, explore as much as you want, and then you will end up in the castle that we've seen from the sky. There's also a church here, a typical house of the century, which is on our left side. Now it is midday, by the way, which is typical Spanish siesta, so this museum is closed now, but usually it is open and it is free of charge to get here. There's not a lot of space, so if there's quite a lot of people, you might need to wait up until they go outside and then you will be able to get inside. Many souvenir places. This place right here is probably one of the biggest ones. They have magnets for a couple of euros. They even have minerals. Inside atmosphere is quite lovely, as you can see. And there's a little bit of everything here, from smallest pieces to biggest art pieces. These old streets are quite charming, as you can see. There's local craft shops, cafes, artisan products, mostly local ceramics, turron, handmade souvenirs, and there's also liquor and other products made out of nísperos, which is like a Chinese plum that is really popular in our region, and it grows a lot here. They make liquor out of it, and different types of jams, sweets, and much more. So you will be able to purchase these here in Guadalest as well, and try out local sausages, traditional stews inside of these places. Obviously, the blue lake that you see from above is the reservoir of Guadalest. You can hike around it actually, or just enjoy the view from the village, which is also one of the greatest picture spots. And all these small roads are the ones that you're able to take to hike around this reservoir, which is a great place to discover all the surrounding area and the nature. Sometimes there are even boats that small boats, really tiny ones, that were here once long time ago. Now it's not the case any longer, but people do still swim in it. Back on top of the old town of the village itself of Guadalest, we are enjoying its pebbled streets. Here there's some loveliest cafes, restaurants. There are traditional dishes such as embutido, which is a local sausage. Then there's olleta de blat, which is traditional stew of a kind. There's also tapas and many other places here to visit. What would be our tips if you want to visit Guadalest village? First of all, and one of the most important ones, wear comfortable shoes, please. There's a little bit of uphill walking, as you could have seen, and there's cobblestones. In general, there's a lot of stones everywhere. Plus, some of them are slippery because these are so polished from all the walking, from the rain whenever it hits. that these are slippery a lot of the time. So obviously no high heels, no platforms, nothing like this, just comfy shoes. Oh, look at how gorgeous the nature looks like from here. A lot of typical flowers and plants, blue skies, and the blue lake. Incredible. Also, bring cash. Some small shops and museums do not accept cards, so just in case, bring some cash with you so that you would not be in a struggle. Nearby, there is an ATM machine here in Guadalest where you will be able to take up some money. However, if it's not the one that your bank works with, then obviously you might pay slightly more in commissions, which is not worth it. Which is why just bring some of money and you will be able to enjoy it fully. Also, this area is famous for its wine. So whilst you will be here, make sure you try out typical local wine. There's many wineries around. All these are vineyards, they're called, and numerous kilometers inside of this valley are prepared to cultivate and create some of the best wines of this region. So try these out if you will be here in the area. Trust me, this is incredible. Also, do not rush in this place. It might look small, but to walk all around all these streets, to have some nice meal, maybe some snack or a drink nearby, enjoy the views that it has, have a lovely walk, just stop for a second and contemplate everything that it has to offer. More or less, minimum time that I would recommend to spend here would be 2 to 3 hours. You could also combine this visit technically with a visit to Altea or a walk in Fonts del Algar, which are the waterfalls that we've also shown you here on the channel, I think last year or the previous one. Many local products, nísperos, here as you can see, different types of jams, sausages, local biscuits and cookies. And here there's even a liquor that's made of jamon serrano. What about that? Local wines, olive oil, leather bags, accessories, bracelets, belts, souvenirs, magnets, cups, art pieces, whatever you want is available out here. And there's also some nicest ice cream shops with handmade ice cream with traditional recipes. Also places where you will be able to get some typical meals and drinks. And all this obviously with a view. Just look at this. All the valley is right in front of us. And now we will be heading down towards the other street that was and is wheelchair accessible. As you can see here, while we go down, there is one part which are steps, and then there's the other part that is not steps. This is for boogies, for children's boogies, and also for wheelchair access. It is not the most comfortable way to get here, but it is possible. It's not impossible, so you will be able to see Guadalest fully if you want to do so. Right below us, we are able to see some loveliest gardens where actually nísperos grow, orange trees, almond trees, and much more fruit, typical trees that grow in our region. Plus the long and very tall palm trees of these gardens. Many people stop here directly to make a nice picture from their visit towards Guadalest village. And right here at the bottom on the left, you have a small picnic area too, not the only one here as well. Small picnic area with a children's playground where you are able to enjoy some time and just relax before you continue your way. And now probably many people are wondering, well, all right, it's 30 minutes from Benidorm. How do I get here actually? Well, first of all, the easiest way is by car, which obviously will be about 30-40 minutes drive from Benidorm town. By bus, there's also an option of a public bus that runs a few times a day from Benidorm directly. It takes about an hour and a half to get here because, well, it is slow. It's a public bus, you know. But you could also grab a tour. Some local companies offer day trips from Benidorm or Altea. And by the way, before we continue, just look at the typical menu. First plate and the second plate plus bread, dessert. And it's 23 euros per person. And all the other meals actually are quite cheap. A lot of them are less than 10 euros with an incredible view. towards the valley, the sea, and the Guadalest Castle. So there are some places that are not as expensive as many people think they are, just because they're inside of a fully touristic village. So let's continue with the tours. There are some excursions. We know round town trips, excursions in Benidorm town and Rincon de Loja. They do once or twice a week excursions to Guadalest with a big bus, amongst others, probably a few others, that you have a full excursion here. They bring you with the bus, you go with the guide, they show you around. It's not as personalized and you're not able to just go freely wherever you want, but you get the tickets as well. You go to the museums and you just get to see it. Probably will have some free time as well to contemplate all the beauty of this area before you head back. And sometimes these excursions obviously also include the Algar waterfalls or any other, like Dino Park, any other area around. And basically these are the two options that you would be able to go here. Obviously taxi is another option, but it is quite expensive, I must say, and it's not worth it. Unless there's no other way and you don't want to go with an excursion but you don't drive either, that might be the only way for you to explore this loveliest area and everything that it has to offer. Have you already been to Guadalest? This is how Guadalest looks like right now in spring of 2025. An incredible place to visit and spend at least half of the day here. Thank you for accompanying us. We hope you enjoyed gorgeous views and authentic Spanish old streets. We will see you in a new video here on the channel tomorrow. Bye, dears.